Y'all are Goats here with the Star Wars Tides of Change Facebook group, and I am here to bring you a new campaign called Destiny Horizon. And joining me today are my three players. Let's go ahead and have you guys introduce yourselves. Gabe, how you doing?
I'm doing great. And yourself? Hey, everybody, this is Gabe B. I just interrupted you. Didn't
even wait for the response.
Just ask you.
How are you doing? Bye. Who are you playing, Gabe?
Wow, that's a good question. I'm actually playing a Bothan today. I don't think this is the first time that I've actually played one before. His name is York, and don't ask me to say his last name, but I don't even know how to say it. But okay, sounds a little bit better than how I would come up with. But Trisulu, and well, he is a sergeant in the special forces of the rebellion, and he is as we would say, can't even think, the astrogation specialist. Thank you. Wow, I'm brain fart.
All right. Thank you very much, Gabe. And for those of you who've seen our videos before, you've probably seen Gabe's beautiful face in many other campaigns, which we'll cover at the end of session. Azel, new to the group, aren't you?
Yes, I actually joined like 2 days before you invited me into the game. So that was
I smelled the
a
fresh
very new
meat.
addition.
I was like, people that need to die. What? I mean, even though Gabe's a veteran, he's Bothan, and many Bothans die. We already know that. So, tell us about yourself and tell us about your character.
Well, I'm Azel. I'm a new player to the Star Wars RPG series. I've played Pathfinder before, sporadically. So, I'm still kind of new to RPGs, but I'm definitely looking forward to this. That's for sure. And I am playing a Wookiee named Grakaza, who is a sergeant with the Rebel Alliance, and just not like Gabe. He's not special forces. He's just a grunt on the ground who happens to love blowing the fuck out of Imperials.
Blowing them up.
Blowing them up, yeah.
You mean bombs, right?
Bombs, yes. Wording, I know, phrasing.
No, that's good. Well, blowing them up could mean several things, but it's good. Your explosives.
Yes, and fittingly, he is an engineer with the specialization as being a saboteur. So he especially loves blowing stuff up that is critical to the Imperial.
Nice. All right, and we're going to pan over to Ethan real quick. Ethan, how's it going? Are you also new to the group, or is this your first game?
Yes, this is my first game. I joined Tides of Change Facebook group probably 2 or 3 days before Azel did, and this is my first actual game. I've never really played RPGs before. Always saw people talk about them, so this is my first one. Excellent.
It's a good one to get into. In my opinion, I've noticed that there are a lot of veteran RPG players who look at the Fantasy Flight game Star Wars and goes, the symbols are confusing, whereas new people, they tend to catch on to it really quick because they don't already have a pre-programmed RPG in their brain.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
Excuse me. Sorry. My character is...
Somebody get him some cough drops.
My character
I'll be back. Hold on.
Corin Reed. He's a human, pretty much a grunt, just like Krakaza's character. He pretty much just had a bad luck run through most of life, losing family members, and when he joined the rebellion, a lot of comrades died, and he's just ready to stomp the Imperial's teeth in.
Oh, I like that. And also our fourth player is Brian, which you guys have seen before in many games. He's bringing his character Valerie to the group. But unfortunately, I've assembled this group when he already had a prior commitment. So he will be missing out on the first session. But we will miss him, and he will be in our thoughts. And we will be excited to have him 2 weeks from now. In the meantime, let's get to business. The first business being Destiny points. Now, for those of you who have not played the Star Wars game before, how Destiny points work is you could spend them to make something incredible happen. Like, I had this bomb in my pocket the entire time. You could spend them to make plot devices happen. Oh, there's an explosion from the attack, and now the stormtroopers are knocked down. Or you could spend them mechanically on your rolls to upgrade your skill checks. So if you're trying to do something really difficult, that you know you're only mediocre at, you can spend a light side point to boost your roll and make it more important and easier to succeed. Also, anytime you boost the roll, it turns one of your green dice into a yellow die. And the reason why the yellow dice in this game are so important is because those are the ones with the critical successes on it. We call them triumphs. That's why it's important to update them. The problem is for every light side point you spend, I get a dark side point, and I can spend it to do the very same thing to you guys. And every time I spend a dark side point, you get a light side point. And yes, I could spend one, and then you could spend one in turn. So it gets kind of antsy when you're sitting there with one light side point going, we got to save this, guys. We don't want to give it all away. So the first thing you're going to do is open up your character sheets, and if you forgot how to do that, that's in the top right corner where the little newspaper icon is. That's your journal. And then you go down to your character. And the first thing I'm going to do is just sync our... There we go. Alright, so now everything's updated so that you guys can roll your destiny. Now, how you do that is, no matter what page you are in the sheet, right above your dice pool is the destiny pool. And over on the left-hand side, it says sync pool GM, and underneath it says roll destiny. All you have to do is click roll destiny. Ah, you guys are jerks. Yes, thank you, Wookie.
Pew 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 pew.
Oh, God,
so
what did I do?
You gave me a dark side point. That's what that black spot means.
No, I know what they mean. I was navigating back and it wasn't loading, so I didn't see what I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes you can scroll up or scroll down. Also, for those of you who are familiar with Roll20, you can go to the top right corner with that little gear. Click on that gear. And there should be a thing that says clear current chat log, and you can click that, and it'll get rid of all of the garbage from past games.
Ooh.
So that makes it very easy.
That definitely helps.
All right, let's get started then, now that we have our force points, and I only have a meager 1. Thank you, jerks. All right, so 3 assault shuttles travel in a wing. There are several wings of assault shuttles approaching the ice planet seen in the title crawl. Outer space is peaceful. There's no chaos, there's no noise, just the beautiful white frost planet seen in the horizon. These wings of shuttles flying for it. But as soon as the silence came, and as soon as you were able to bask in its peacefulness, a TIE fighter comes screaming in, "Ow!" and then just ignites into flames as 2 X-Wings come right up behind it, stripping into shreds. The camera pans out, revealing several Corellian corvettes, a frigate, and a couple dreadnoughts in a hot entanglement with several Imperial Star Destroyers coming at different vectors and angles, aggressively defending the planet. The camera pans in onto one of these shuttles, and underneath each of these shuttles is a small metal box. And the metal box has boosters, 4 large rockets on each corner of it pointed down. The camera pans to the side of the rocket and then goes straight inside this metal to reveal 12 soldiers sitting in one compartment. There are 6 seats on either side of the compartment, a red light flashing indicating that atmospheric entrance is imminent, and all of you are seated in these metal seats with this giant roller coaster style safety harness strapped around it. Standing in front of you is the lieutenant who will be leading your team. Your team's called, does anyone remember?
Idiot's Array.
The Idiot's Array. Not a very happy name, but I'm sure you guys will get it. And this lieutenant looks over and goes, "All right, men," and he's holding onto a strap as the atmosphere is starting to cause some turbulence in the craft. A few of the guys are just keeping their helmets down as it's pinging off the belt. Some of them are looking over at everybody. Go ahead and describe how you guys are feeling now that the ship's starting to rock in your seats that are designed clearly for humans.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Corn's pretty much just sitting there. He's done drops like this before, but every time he just kind of starts feeling sick, starts sweating a little bit more than usual because he's just hates doing these kind of drops because normally they're really, really bumpy, no matter if there's no fighting or anything like that. But he's just kind of feeling sick, wants to throw up, but, is holding it back so he doesn't gross everyone out.
There's actually a soldier next to you, and you see him putting something that looks like a white tile in his mouth, and he opens up a foil packet and looks at you and motions to you, and you know this to be gum to help ease nausea while you're doing these drops, because you're going to be experiencing some G's that are pretty intense. And he motions it for Karan. Does Karan take it?
Yes, he takes it and kind of gives him a nod as a thanks, you know, knowing that he's probably been in a few of these before, and he takes and puts it in and just starts chewing it vigorously.
Yeah, he reaches over and he pats your shoulder or your helmet, like pat, 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 and just kind of hunkers his down. You notice a lot of the guys in the drop who have experience with it, they're just looking at the floor, trying to focus only on listening to Lieutenant. The new guys, they're looking around at the flashing lights, wondering why there aren't any windows, and you hear muttering about them commenting how the floor's starting to get a little hot. Grakaza, what are you doing in this awkward
right now, I'm not
human-shaped
very
chair?
happy. I am just not happy at all. Because I'm like slightly grumbly and muttering, just angry at the fact that I have to be squeezed into these goddamn seats.
Did the harness snap down, or are you holding it down?
I'm like in a jerry-rigged harness because I pissed off the engineers because I had to do it myself, and they're like, no, what are you doing with the thing? It's like I can't fit in this, obviously in growls and grunts, but
I could just imagine it being one of those straps that you put on your truck to hold your gear down, and you're like to tighten it.
That's actually the
and they just strapped your shoulders in, and you're like,
it's like really angry.
You're still so tall that even though the harness is lifted up, it's still looped around your neck, so you're just like.
I'm kind of like muttering to myself, like, well, if this goes horribly wrong, I'm gonna just have my neck broken as soon as we land.
Grakaza, I am going to tell you that you have been given a rocket launcher with 2 rockets, and it's sitting in a crate next to you. And there's a few other exploses.
That's my one comforting bit of knowledge is that I have a lot of explosives at my disposal.
Now, does your rocket have personality, or is it just
It's just a standard issue rocket. I don't have too much of attachment to my equipment. I try to keep it in good condition, but I don't like to give my weapons names.
Some of these guys have stickers on their guns and stuff like that, and one of them's painted a stormtrooper head for all of the stormtroopers he's killed, but now it has the effect that it just looks like polka dots on his gun. It looks rather silly.
I guess I just kind of like look over at that particular weapon and shake my head.
Yeah, you're kind of shaking your head. You see a soldier next to you. It's got it says "Born to Kill" on the side of his helmet, and he's got score marks counting all of the Imperials that he's killed. And then you see this rookie whose helmet is all shiny and new, and you can tell that he hasn't even been in a single encounter.
Oh, he's dead. Oh, he's so dead.
He's right.
Jurg, why don't you tell me? Oh, yeah, and actually that rookie, the same guy who offered you gum, hands the rookie gum, and he's like, I don't need any gum. What are you doing? He's like, all right. We'll call this guy Johnson, because that's the name of every NPC that gets brutally murdered is Johnson. Jurg, our Bothan friend, why don't you describe how you're feeling, what you're doing?
Looking around, basically, I've been in a couple drops, and more for training, to see how it would be. This is not how it was done. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out, listening to how warm it is, kind of looking at my feet dangling and not actually reaching the floor. This is probably the one time I'm happy to be under 5 foot.
And the harness is actually probably right below your, like right at your collarbone instead of right at your belly button too.
I'm not that short.
Well, they're big clamps. They're not exactly adjustable.
This one's going to be very fun, isn't it, boys?
I kind of like let out like a growl of like agreement.
Yeah, there's
Aren't you glad
Oh, go ahead.
Aren't you glad I got you this assignment?
I in grunts and growls, I say, yeah, I'm still waiting for that equipment though.
Yes. Not now.
The lieutenant shouts, all right, cut the chatter. This isn't playtime. You can hold hands and grab each other's asses once we get Snowside, but you need to listen up. The plan is, we're going to drop within the barrier shield. The orbital strikes cannot occur until that shield is taken out. This communication array needs to go down today. If you fail, all of the lives being lost in orbit right now is on you. And he kind of pauses and looks around. He's like, shit's about to get a lot worse before it's about to get a lot better. Trust your men. Hang on to your men. Work with the other squads if you happen to see one another. Keep your eyes open for armored divisions and get the people with the means to take them out, but do not stop moving. You will run up this snowy beach. It will be slippery. You will fall. You'll all look like morons, but you will get to the cliffside as soon as you can, or else you will be blown to bits. And I'm sorry, but I don't have time to go around and scoop up all of your little body parts and put them in bags and ship them off to your parents to tell them how fucking stupid you were to get yourself blown up. Is that understood?
I like this loud growl and roar combination in acknowledgement.
Everybody else is like, hoorah! In unison. He's like, all right, the Idiot's Array plan is simple. You guys are going to go down. You're going to lead the vanguard. Once you get up to the cliffside, there should be a set of blast doors. He kind of glances to Yurg and Grakaza. It's where you guys come in. However, at the top of the mountain, or the cliffside, there will be small turbo lasers firing down on you. There will be heavy weapon cannon firing down on you, explosions, mortars. Our intel was very good on this place. And he kind of glances over to the Bothan and gives a curt nod of acknowledgement. He says, you have Yurg to thank for that. And the reason why all of you aren't dead right now is because we knew exactly how to hit him. And if you guys screw this plan up, I'm going to be so pissed. I will come into the afterlife. I will drag you out and I will kill you again. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's like, once you get to the blast doors, we have no idea what's on the inside. That's all you guys. All you need to do is shut down the shield generators. But if the fleet in orbit gets beaten back, you're going to have to take out that communications array. Once the communications array is down, if the orbital bombardment is successful, the anti-air defense will be taken out, and we should be able to get shuttles to retrieve you guys. That's all. And he spins around, holding the harness, and just kind of closes his eyes, shaking a little bit, as all of a sudden the ship just goes pat and hits that last bit of atmosphere. The shuttles are rocking. Everybody's kind of like, oh my god. And that's when you hear a very odd sound, and I need everybody to roll perception. Or whatever it is in this game. I just played D&D. I just played D&D, so yes, perception.
Yeah, okay, then.
And I want you all to do it against a difficulty of 3 because you're in a metal box with no windows.
Okay.
So, how you do that is you go up to the skills page and make sure you can see your list of skills. And then you add 3 triangles in your dice pool, which is your difficulty. And then once you're done, you scroll down to perception and you just hit the D20. And if you guys would love to spend your light side points, I'd be happy to take them from you. Okay, so Coran and Grakaza do hear the noise, but they don't exactly know what it is. And actually, Grakaza, I'm going to give you a chance to redeem this by having you roll just a single blue die. So hit the little recycle mark in the dice pool.
Okay.
And then just 1 blue die and go ahead and roll it. Nothing. Yeah, so you hear the noise, but you don't exactly know what it is. It's clear it's an explosion. It's like, boom! Boom! Yurg, you recognize this noise from infiltration missions in the past, and you can almost visualize it as all of the shuttles are coming out of the atmosphere and flak starts blowing up around the shuttles. In fact, a few of the shuttles are taken out almost instantly. Just boom! Guys are falling from the crate as it falls down and opens up. They're like, ah! Some of them have parachutes that successfully open. But several of the shuttles are starting to take evasive maneuvers as they're flying through this flak layer. But that's not even the worst part of it. The worst part of it is the weather. This frigid planet has a terrible stratosphere as you guys are just rocking back and forth, the metal plate beneath you heating up. You hear the shuttle pilot go, insertion point in 5, 4, 3, 2. All you guys hear after that is shunk. And you guys feel the familiar feeling of dropping. Immediately you're lifted up in your seats. Now you realize why the harnesses are there. The Wookiee feels the harnesses tighten around his shoulders as he's lifted. Everybody on board is like, and their face is just rippling as the drop pods just go. It's like dropping a boxcar from orbit and just watching that boxcar go right through the clouds. Every cloud you burst through just looks like an explosion came out the bottom of it. The cold air is creating icicles on the sides of the craft as it's falling, and the rookie just goes and throws up. I want everybody to roll a resistance, and I'm going to have Corin, why don't you take a blue die? Because you ate some of the gum. And the difficulty is going to be 2.
Okay.
So now what you do is you just put 2 purple. Cran puts 1 blue die as well. And then you roll a resilience.
Yes.
I'm going to use a light side destiny because this is my name was mentioned in this mission, and I can't look bad.
Right. You cannot be the idiot in the idiot's array.
Yeah, correct.
So we lost a light side point because Jurg is a vain son of a bitch.
All right. So Jurg is like,
anyway.
Why don't you describe what happens when you get sick?
It's the anguish you see of what I did see, and then the feeling, and then I'm holding on, thinking I'll be all right. I should have taken that gum. I didn't know that's what it was for. I've always had one before. No one offered me any. And yeah, and I just like, you could see me turning 3 shades of purple and then green and then blue, and then all of a sudden it just kind of comes out of my mouth. And same thing.
I don't imagine it would be a lot. I imagine it'd be kind of like in Saving Private Ryan when they were just like, ugh.
And white, yeah, and just kind of like sticking all over my mouth, side of my mouth on the fur, and now we could see it christen of cold.
Yeah, so it's starting to crystallize a little bit. Oh, gnarly. Corin, your triumph. I'm going to help you out with this.
Okay.
On your charge up the beach, anything that might be horrifying that would cause somebody to retch, or anything that might cause nausea, like a high velocity G's spinning, what have you, you are going to be immune from for the rest of this time, because you're just like, that gum hit the spot.
Nice.
So yeah, immediately afterwards, the people are getting sick. One of the soldiers pees his pants. Very
Already?
common because, well, it's the G-force pushing on his
Oh,
bladder.
okay.
Like, there's a lot of astronauts that pee their pants.
I
upon
told him not to
re-entry.
drink all that blue milk before we went on the ship, but you know.
He's like,
Rookies don't
luckily these are waterproof. The other guy's like, they're not waterproof, and he's like, shit. And all of a sudden, you guys come within view of the beach. Several boxcar-shaped boxes falling through the sky. The flak has ceased. And for Jurg, he knows that this means that you guys are below the angles. But all of a sudden, you hear a different sound. The sound of turbo laser firing being shot at these containers. One of the containers near you just eats it and is like, and it's just gone. You're just people on the mic going, oh my god, static going through. The lieutenant's just up front going, shit. And he turns around as soon as a green light lights up, and he's like, get ready, you sons of bitches, moving out. And then the lifts just whoosh. One of the soldiers comes up with a knife to cut Grakaza free. And everybody can stand even though you're still falling. Any preparations you want to do before those doors get open?
I'll check, make sure all my equipment's tied down on me. You know,
Yeah.
my blaster's ready to get unhooked at a moment's notice.
Yeah, I'd say all of you guys probably had your equipment tied down, especially the rocket launcher. And all of the soldiers, one side of the ship, the training modules had you guys stand facing each other with one hand on each other's shoulders so that you could kind of push each other out in case one guy gets scared and decides to freeze. The line will still push out. All of you who have been through this before know that the worst thing is if you guys get stuck in here, is if some of the rookies get scared and you guys are just basically targets in a tin can. And as soon as everybody stands up and forms a line, the guy behind Grakaza doesn't exactly know where he should put his hand because Grakaza's so tall, so he's just kind of like pats his back. But you hear the rocket thrusters on this craft go, and then as soon as that happens, right above the green light, a yellow light shines up, and the lieutenant lifts his gun and he's like, "Lock and load, ladies!" and turns around and faces the ramp. That's when the ship just thuds. It's not a heavy thud that'll break bones, but it's a thud enough that some of the guys would have been knocked down had you not been holding onto each other. You actually feel the guy behind you, Grukaza, slip a little bit, and he grabs your hair and then pulls himself up. But the ramp does open, and in front of you, you see a frozen beach. Some of the craft went right through the icy water and just kept on going down. But a lot of them landed just fine in the shallow parts. Doors are opening everywhere, and before you is a huge snowy plain all the way up to the cliffside. And above the cliffside, a large satellite dish, a lot like the one that you see in the Battle of Endor. It's created this blue bubble around the entire installation. Also, you guys happen to see the turbo lasers that are now firing upon the beach. Lieutenant looks at you guys and goes, "Move out! Go, 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 go!" and starts pointing towards the beachhead, where you notice that there may be some defenses dug in ahead. Now, if we go to the combat screen real quick.
Give me one moment.
Not a problem.
Sorry, carry on.
All right, so all we're going to use this for primarily is just so that you guys have an idea of what the range is. You can see long, medium, short, engage, short, medium, long, extreme. And you guys are going to be able to have that visible to you throughout. This is abstract. Anything you guys want to know, I will describe. I would really not want to draw it, but I will definitely describe it for you. So, that being said, I'm going to move your pieces real quick. You guys are in the extreme band over here. And how you add wounds to yourselves is the red circle above your token, if you click on it, is going to be the wounds threshold, and the green circle is your strain threshold. When I tell you take strain or take wounds, you put plus however many wounds or strain you take. Now you guys see in front of you, extreme is, for all intensive purposes, the trenches that are in front of you. You can move, and then you can spend 2 strain to make a double move. So you can move pretty quick across this battlefield, but you're going to harness a lot of strain if you're double moving on your turns. Now, I'm not going to roll initiative yet because all of this is happening at once, but I would like you guys to decide how you're going to do this. Are you going to move slow and steady to where you're not exhausting yourselves, or are you guys going to push towards those trenches?
At first, I think we should press until we can get a little bit closer. At least separate us from a lot of people, kind of give them more targets to have to shoot at. So the faster we can separate, it might be easier for us to get there, and then slow down and get there.
So basically disperse, run as fast as we can while we're dispersing, and then once we're kind of close to the trenches, we just take it, we don't take it easy necessarily, but we do make sure that we're still moving.
Now, an interesting fact is if ever you guys want advice on what the best tactic will be, you can roll a knowledge warfare, and I will tell you what the best tactic in this situation would be. In this particular case, it would be average difficulty, because you guys definitely went over the plan before you went on this mission. What about you, Ethan? You got any input on how Korean should handle this situation? You like their idea?
Well, shit.
Yeah, I personally would feel
Sorry, go ahead.
that...
I'll just figure my camera.
Not a problem.
I personally feel that if we can leapfrog towards it while providing covering fire for each other, plus we have the other squads, which I'm assuming some have crew-served weapons like machine gun or machine lasers and stuff like that. So I think best course of action would be to leapfrog, maybe have one person do double, move double, so put a little strain on them, which I'll volunteer for that, and then the others kind of move up more steady while the other squads are probably providing fire support.
Yeah, and you guys are communicating this as you're moving, I'll say. With that knowledge warfare, Jurg, with the top one you rolled, you can actually...
The top one was, hadn't hit the recycle button, so it was still upgraded.
Oh, okay. So in this one, because you rolled a failure and a threat, it's 2 success and 2 advantage, which is still really good. Because you forgot to roll difficulties. But basically what you discern is that getting to the trenches as soon as possible is critical to your guys' success. If you can get in those trenches, then you can take it easy, regather forces, use some of the heavy weapons, because using a rocket launcher out here is just going to get you hosed.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, sounds like you guys are making plans to beat feet. The nice thing is you can move over to the token and move them. And you can move it 2 spaces to that medium range that's next to you.
Okay.
Ooh. Hey,
There you go. Perfect. And now what you do is you click on your token and you click on that green square and you put +2 because you've just taken 2 strain for your double move.
All right.
Now, this is not a normal thing that I'm doing for this game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a percentile die, and that's going to determine whether or not your particular group was nailed by artillery. I'm going to let you talk amongst yourselves, but I am going to need a 15% range, like 10 to 25, 70 to 85. I need a 10% range that's going to be an oh crap, we got hit range.
I think 70 to 85.
Which one?
75 to 85. I think.
75 to 90?
Or 90, yeah, I'm sorry.
You guys like that sound?
I would have liked to have included 42 in there, but okay.
I mean,
No, go for it.
You guys
we'll
have
go with that.
Too.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, 75 to 90 sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, so nothing happens to you guys, and it was so far off the mark, I'm going to say that the artillery just kind of hits the snow. None of the other soldiers were affected by it. They saw it coming, they stopped. Once it hit, they continued running. You notice that some of the rebel soldiers, including one of the guys from your squad, pulls out this, it almost looks like a dinner plate on his arm, and he lifts up and has a little button. He hits it, and it just goes, and it creates a shield. And he runs right in front of you guys and holds it up. And he's like, all right, where are we going?
I'll yell out to him, beat feet to the trench. We need to get in there.
I am surprised you could even see anything in that with that in front of your face.
He's
but
like,
we are headed up there.
He nods and he starts moving forward. His visibility is really messed up, which is why he was asking you guys, because he's just looking through a tiny little visor. But he's running towards it. A few sniper rounds go off. As you guys are moving up the beach, some of you notice there's already casualties. You see a soldier who had fallen in the water and climbed out, and he's laying on the snow going, he's not going to make it. You see a sniper round coming from the cliff, just nail somebody right in the forehead as viscera from the back of their head sprays out, paints the snow red, and their body falls to the ground. But a few sniper rounds are fired at you guys, but the guy with the shield is like ping ping, and you can see that he's doing his job just fine. Next to Kakaza is the rookie, and the rookie is carrying some extra ammunition for his explosives. Sorry, Grikaza. And
oh no,
the guy who's gave you the gun, Karan, he's also a marksman like you, and he's got an A280 rifle slung up in the air, but he's holding onto your shoulders so that you guys are well within each other. It's also a technique that the rebellion used a lot. They would tether each other, put their hands on each other, so that if he needs to provide you cover fire, if he sees something, he can literally grab your arm and spin you out of the way and shoot. But another really dark side to that tactic is that if you get nailed, he can still use you as a meat shield. So it serves a purpose, and also a really horrific purpose. You're still out of range of that trench, but you do see snow troopers sitting there with their white hoods waiting for you guys to approach, as they the glint from their scopes is seen reflecting from the suns that are floating overhead. I'm going to need you guys to move again. Are you going to spend 2 strain to go twice up, or are you just going to do 1?
How do we want to approach this? Because we're getting close to the trench, but we're still going to be pretty exposed.
How close is the trench? It's at the
It's at the
distance?
other extreme range.
Oh, other extreme.
So you can move up to the engaged range and spend 2 more strain.
Remember your discipline trainings. We must get closer.
You know what? Why don't you roll a leadership, Gabe? And I'm going to have you roll that against 2 purple. Upon success, the other guys are going to get a boost die to their discipline roll. No. So everybody, including Gabe, needs to make a discipline check.
Okay.
And that's going to be against 3 purple because you guys have artillery, sniper rounds. I mean, it is just a mess.
Discipline. Oh, fudge. All right.
I never said I was good at discipline.
Oh, did it not register the difficulty dice?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you might have to reset your thing.
Yeah, let me try it again.
I don't know why.
That's weird because I did reset it. It's a discipline, right?
Yeah, discipline with 3 purple.
Oh, there we go.
Fudge.
Okay, so with that kind of a roll, you all pass. Now, now with your 2 strain, Grakaza, or your 2 advantage, sorry, you have a choice. You can recover 2 strain, or you can give somebody a boost die on their next action. It's entirely up to you.
We're still kind of out in the open, so I think I'm going to recover the 2 strains, so that way if we need to move fast, I can move fast and not have to worry about that.
Excellent.
Unless one of you guys needs the advantage.
Nah, you get the strain so we can get across the field.
Okay.
And then we can deal with the regaining strain once we get in front of them, or get into them.
Okay, then yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to recover that strain.
Excellent. All right, so you recover 2 strains. So how you do that is you put -2.
Oh, I put my... Okay.
Yep, and it looks like... There you go. Now, for Yerg and Karan, I think, just because it's fitting, I think you guys take 3 more strain apiece.
On top of the movement?
So that'd be 5 strain total. Because the threats, I'm going to translate as strain because I don't want to nail you guys with anything yet.
Oh, boy.
And then all of you can move to engaged range. Now, what happens when you hit max strain is you pass out.
What was the strain added from the discipline? Or did we get?
Actually, what the discipline did is that I'm going to give you guys boost dice once you approach the trench. You will all be acting as 1 unit, and you won't have to worry about, you know, fear. I'm also using the discipline for the guys who are around you. So it's their discipline as well. So the guy with the shield, because you guys all succeeded, he did not waver. He is on the ball, staying with you guys through thick and thin, and he's just going to charge his way up.
Okay.
All right.
So we still got the rookie.
Well, no, the rookie's behind you, but he's well disciplined now. Like, he's got his shit together. So do you guys. So if I start nailing you with explosive rounds and stuff, then I'm not going to worry about you guys getting too scared. Could I have one of you, please, and not Azelle this time, let's do Gabe or Ethan, a 15 percentile.
I'll throw the suggestion out of 35 to 50.
There you go. There's your 42 in there.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
Oh man. Okay. Well, nothing happens. No. As you guys are running, you notice that there is a Corellian Corvette burning in the atmosphere, headed down towards the beach. And I think maybe Karan sees it and taps on everybody's shoulders and points up, and it's coming down fast. So
yeah, I'll yell out, "Watch your asses!" as I point up.
All right, so you guys start approaching the trenches. You can go ahead and move one more time, but you know that after you move this one more time, you're going to be within blaster range, and you are going to get torn up.
So is there just absolutely no cover between us and the trenches?
Oh no, they wouldn't put cover out there. That would be silly.
I mean, it was worth asking.
No, it was worth asking, definitely.
Can I radio another squad and see if they have any type of smoke rounds that they can launch out in front of us?
Yeah, why don't you roll leadership and see if you can rally everybody to throw their smoke rounds.
Okay.
And that's going to be against 3 because everybody else is pretty freaked out that there's a Corellian cruiser headed your way.
Okay, so leadership. Oh, please, please, please. And...
Okay. You're like, all right, everybody, throw your smoke rounds. But through the chaos, people bleeding, people screaming, only a couple squads throw smoke rounds out. Nobody else gets the message. And your rookie goes, oh, shit, I left those on the drop pod.
I just yell angrily at him. You fucking idiot.
He's like, oh.
Kaza, don't be so sad. We will get this.
I'm not sad, Jurg. I'm angry. How many times did I tell you the difference?
The Wookiee face, it all looks the same. All right.
It's not his fault. This is his first time. We must keep going. Go.
I'm gonna yell out, it's gonna be his last time.
No.
So yeah, you guys continue your way. Do you want to do it again and push some
I would
strain?
actually try to hold on to Kaza because he's trying to keep going. He's mad. So, and I'll grab onto him like to slow him down. Hopefully that'll give him like we need to start slowing down. And then
like,
move.
Yeah,
I'm kind of move because it's part of the warfare. It's move one slow, and then move fast again.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not a bad idea either because you would be long range from the trench, and some of your soldiers who have long range weapons can actually hit some of these stormtroopers. In fact, oh wait, they're in extreme, sorry. You see 5 heavily armed snowtroopers standing right in front of you at the engage or the extreme range.
I can't engage. Not without wasting rockets.
Well, do you not have another weapon?
Well, not the one that can reach out at long range.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So you guys are moving slow, so let's move your tokens up to the short range. And now we have the most fun part of all. We are going to roll initiative. Now you guys have been prepared for this, so when you roll initiative, you're going to roll your cool. So what you do is you open up your character sheet, and we go to the combat tab. And in the combat tab, you can click the show initiative checkbox. It's literally right below the combat tab. And then what you're going to do is you're going to roll the cool dice.
Do we have difficulty or just 0?
Nope, you just roll it.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, and now I get to roll for them.
Victory or death.
Now I'm going to roll for them as one collective group.
I think the 0-0 needs to be taken out because somehow that did add the difficulty to it.
Okay, so you would have had 1 and 1. I can actually fix that. Oh well, that works. 1 and 2 works. That's close enough. I'm always up for re-rolling if you guys want to re-roll. We can always manually do the subtractions of the symbols, or we could just re-roll. Okay, here they go.
Damn.
Oh man, 2 and 1. Okay. So. And I'm going to move the snowtroopers up, and I'm going to move this one here. There we go. Snowtroopers go first. They have been lying in wait. I was even thinking about giving them a boost die, and I was like, no, that would be mean. Okay, so let me bring up my handy-dandy fancy enemy sheets here. Oh. This is going to be fun. Lucky for you guys, they aren't armed insanely well. It looks like they just have the standard blaster rifles. I'm just trying to figure out if they can even hit you now. So you might be able to hit them. Yes, they can hit you. Oh, dear God. Now, these guys, they're just your basic snowtroopers. They're not like the elite troop stormtroopers, so they are going to fire at you. With a basic roll. Let's see. Long range, so that's 3 purple. And I am going to give them a setback die because you have the guy in front of you with the shield. Now, if you want, you guys can spend a light side point to downgrade these snowtroopers' attack against you.
I think we should save it for when we're like right up next to them. Because if we can't get right up next to them the next round, then frankly any moves we take now would just be exacerbated.
You're right.
I agree.
Which is why I'm spinning a dark side point.
Ah, fuck.
All right, here goes.
You just had to save face, didn't you, Yerk? You just had to save face.
God damn it.
You get equipment stolen? You just get sick on the ship?
Oh, come on now. That was only for 1 shot, though. So I only upgraded 1 shot. But with 4 successes and 2 threat, he's going to take 2 strain. But unfortunately, his round goes right through the visor of your shield bearer. And the shield collapses back into its dinner platter size. And he goes face down into the snow. You actually, since you're moving, you actually probably step right on top of him, Grakaza. All right.
I kind of growl out like, shit, we just need to keep moving.
The other 4 fire. Pew pew. That'll hit Grakaza. This one's going for Karan. This one's going for Yerg. And this one's going for the others. Miss. Okay.
Fuck.
And actually, I see what I'm doing now. I did it as a group, so it should have been just 1 roll as a group, because they don't have that skill at that level. So, I'm just going to have them take down the shield bearer. I'm going to fire individually next time.
Okay.
Alright, anybody who has a long-range weapon can fire now, or forever hold their peace.
The Wookiee, for once, does not have a weapon he's wanting to use.
What about the other marksman?
Yeah, anybody not in your squad, no. I mean, if you fire, I'm going to... Anybody who shoots that has a long-range weapon, I'm going to also add some NPC bullets and have them do some damage as well. But one of you need to hit to get that to work.
Okay. And they're at
long
range?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't shoot with my blaster.
Alright, so everybody's going to move forward. You know what? Why don't you go ahead and make just a ranged light attack for... And this is going to be the NPC behind you who's shooting. And maybe the rookie. And do it against 3 purple with a setback die because they're behind cover.
So, you want me to roll that?
Yep, 3 purple, 1 black.
1 black, and... Oh, skills.
And then
range
just
light.
roll your ranged light skill, yep.
Okay. Range light, and...
Now, by the way, this kind of mass combat, this isn't really how it's supposed to go. I'm shorthanding a lot of this stuff, but yes, you succeed with an advantage. I'm going to say that the advantage, since this is kind of like the NPCs going, they're going to go ahead and allow you guys to recover 1 strain. So -1 strain to each of you. They do.
Wait, can I have -1 strain?
No.
Oh, I just have 0.
You just have 0. You're like, what are you guys worried about? This is easy.
Well, if it's so easy, Krasa, pick up the shield and lead us. You know where we're headed.
The
if worst comes to worst,
well,
you
have
use
we
that
already
as a
run
weapon.
past him? That's the issue. I'm not going to run back just to get.
No,
the
you're
ship.
right on top of him. You have not moved past him. Yep. So for Karan's turn, we're going to have the NPCs fire. You could still move, Karan, because a maneuver is an ability, and they're kind of providing cover fire. Blasters fly past you from your guys who are now taking aim. The man right behind you, he doesn't even squat down for aim. He just keeps his hand on your shoulder, puts the gun right over your shoulder as you guys are running to use you as a stabilizer, and blasts. And you just see a flame emit from one of the eye sockets of the snowtroopers as he's like, "Argh!" And he falls backwards dead. Meanwhile, his E11 blaster is tossed in the air and it lands in the snow.
Oh, gimme that.
Okay, so would you like to move forward, Crane?
Yes, I'll move to the medium.
Excellent.
Just one.
Go for it. All right, now we are going to move over to a second PC slot, Gurkaza. That could be you or it could be Yerk.
It's up to well, actually, it's up to you, Gabe. What do you want to do?
If he wants you to pick up that shield and mechanically it's going to help you, it might be better if you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick up that shield and I'm going to go. I'm going to move 1.
All right, so picking up the shield's not a problem if you don't move. Otherwise, you're just dragging. Gotcha. It's strapped to his arm. Now, you could take care of that issue, or you could drag his body with you. It's entirely up to you.
We got to get moving. I'm just going to rip off the arm and then get the shield.
Roll me a brawl. Roll me a brawl against 2 purple because he's dead and he's not going to fight back.
Okay, 1 second.
Let me make sure that my pool's taken care of. I can't believe this. This is horrible. Kids, if you're watching, this is exactly what Han warned the droids about.
How many purple again?
2.
Okay. Against Brawl, you said, right?
Yeah. All right, so 3 advantage means something significantly good could happen. Why don't you tell me something great that happens that helps you guys out in this battle? That's not going to be like, oh, a rock falls out of the sky and squishes all the stormtroopers.
Yeah, I mean, I figured I couldn't do that.
That would be a triumph, though. You could say that Corellian Corvette just comes down and plows into him, but...
And then we have the issue of, like, trying to get around the Corvette, but, that's
cover.
We don't die.
No, but 3 advantage is pretty significant. Ideas? Anybody have any ideas?
I have some.
Okay, Graham, what's your idea?
Since the Corvette is coming through and it's probably burning, there's probably wreckage falling off of it. So some of that may possibly fall in front of us and between the stormtroopers and us.
Okay, I'll let that happen. I'll let pieces of it hit the snow, and maybe it's going to provide cover for you. And because you guys rolled well, we'll say that the Corvette is just falling apart through the atmosphere and flies right over you guys, dropping off pieces of it, creating this hazardous terrain. I'm going to tell you that right now, but pieces of burning debris in front of you and the stormtroopers. That'll give you guys a setback die if they shoot at you, but they're also still in cover. But then the Corvette flies right over your head and lands on the other side of the beach where there's a few of your squad mates entangling with some snowtroopers in the trenches, and a few of your guys get taken out by the explosion that just boom! Few people are knocked down. Even the snowtroopers are shielding themselves as this burning Corvette settles in the snow. The hatches open up. You see some naval officers coming out. They're all on fire and stuff. But in front of you, it has given you a boon of having really nice shielding. Now, the brawl was a success. Describe to me how you ripped this man's arm off.
Basically, I just put one furry foot down on the guy's chest and just pull back with all my strength and just and I almost just surprised at how easy it was to get the arm off. I almost let go of it, but I catch myself and I basically just like crumple his fingers on the button that extends the shield and just hold onto that instead of actually holding on to the handle.
You're using his hand as a controller.
Yeah,
all right, well, so as you put your foot down, I'm going to say right on his armpit, you hear first the of his arm separating from his shoulder socket, then the of the skin tearing and the muscle tissue fraying, and then the of the fabric ripping from his arm. And the shield extends, so from forearm to elbow you have great control, but his bicep is just kind of flopping about, painting the snow red. And immediately the rookie who's clinging onto you goes and tries not to throw up, but because you guys rolled such good disciplines, he's not going to.
And
okay.
Well, I mean, he might think I'm a crazy son of a bitch later, but that's we can deal with that after.
Hey, you're his crazy bitch, okay? All right, do you want to go ahead and move a space forward?
Yeah.
All right, so you move a space forward, and I'm gonna have you do something for me really quick.
Okay. What did you
Hang on.
do?
Oh my God, these poor bastards. I need you to roll a coercion with an advantage. So a boost die, a coercion against 3 purple, because that is their will.
Oh.
Please.
Oh, hold on.
You failed. But you got another advantage. So here's what you could do. You have no strain. You could pass this advantage as a boost die to the next person who's going, which is Yerg.
I'll pass it to Yerg because I have no use for it.
All right, go ahead and move your guy
I
up
have
to
a bloody
medium
shield.
band. Oh, the shield's fine. It's just the snow all around you. So go ahead and move up to medium. What I'm going to say is as you're like ripping the guy's arm off and approaching, the snowtroopers just kind of look at each other and then look back at the battlefield.
They're like, oh, like, we need to shoot him.
Yeah. I'll move your token up. There we go. All right, Yerg.
Oh, thank you.
It is now your turn.
Oh my goodness, Captain Corporal Reed. You forgot to teach me how to shoot my weapon very good. And I'll keep moving up. You promised me you would, but I understand lessons don't have the timing. And I'll pull out as I'm kind of doing it, I'm pulling out my blaster and I'm moving forward. So that's that. I can't even shoot because I'm pulling out my blaster and moving forward. Is it
short range? Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that you.
No, it's not short range. It's just it's another.
It's the action. I'm gonna say that. Well, honestly, I think you'd already have it out, because remember, in the shuttle, everybody armed up.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah, if you'd like to shoot, you can.
All right, and then I'll still say that, kind of teasing Corporal Reed because, he said he was going to promise me to shoot one day, and well, I just never took him up on it. That was my fault, making it sound like his.
I'm gonna
Absolutely.
Yell back,
he's a corporal. He can't argue with you. You're a sergeant.
I'll just yell back. Live fire training. That's what this is.
All right. Excellent. Let's get this done.
So, to shoot these bucket heads, you're going to need 2 purple, 1 blue, because they are currently looking at each other, shocked that they just saw Wookiee rip an arm off their fallen comrade, and 1 black because they're behind cover. And go ahead and roll your blaster light.
Just wait till I actually get to the trench.
Nice. Now, I'm already going to say that the way that I do it, because I've added blasters to this that aren't just blaster pistol. I've added different kinds and different variants. Because of that, how I work is if you roll a success, you do base damage, and if every additional success is 1 more. So you just did 7 damage. No criticals. And yeah, let me look at their soak real quick. Okay. So you hit this guy in the shoulder, and he's like, ah, fuck! Snow's coming around, and he brings his blaster up, and he's now looking straight at you. Oh, and guess whose turn it is?
Oh, no.
Now, they're going to get a setback die, though. All right? So that is going to help you guys out quite a bit, because you guys are behind cover right now with all the fragments from the ship. And there's 4 of them. One of them's going to shoot at Grakaza. Another one's going to... Oh, you knucklehead. Okay, one of them's going to shoot at Grakaza. One of them's going to shoot at Grakaza. One of them's going to shoot at Yurg. The other one's going to shoot at Grakaza. Grakaza gets nailed. One of the troopers takes a wound because of strain. Another one fires at Yurg and hits, and then the other shot flies wide of Grakaza. So 3 blaster bolts come flying at Grakaza. One of them lands and finds purchase. Yurg, I'm going to say that guy reacted fast enough that before you could dip behind cover, he blasts you in the shoulder. So, Grakaza, you take 10 damage.
Oh, 10 damage? Okay.
Yep, and what is your current soak?
My current soak is 4.
Okay, so you take 6 damage. Pretty hard hit.
Yeah.
Now, as you guys whittle these men down, they will have less and less of an advantage on you. Currently, they've got bipods on their guns, so it holds them steady. With Gabe, your character takes 9 damage. What's your soak?
That would be 4 soak, so I take 5 damage.
Okay, yep. There you go. And as you guys can see, the little red bars are your health and how many wounds you've taken. The green bars are your strain. That way, I always hate it when the medic forgets to heal somebody because that person did not tell them, hey, I need healing. And some people go, ooh, the bars aren't immersive. Well, in my opinion, I think it shows how wounded they are. So why don't you guys describe to me how you guys feel after taking hits like that?
I am not happy, to say the very least. I let out like this roar of pain and just pure anger and rage.
Fair enough.
As Wookiees are wont to do when they're injured. Basically, I take a really like heavy hit in my shoulder.
And I'm sorry. Actually, could you put +3 on yours, Grakaza? Because you have that riot shield.
Oh, okay.
Which adds to your soak. Or I'm sorry.
No, you mean -3.
-6 total now. There you go. Yeah.
Okay,
so it goes through the shield.
Okay, so it goes through the shield, and I'm just a little bit surprised and just not very happy about the fact that the shield failed me. So at this point,
it failed the other guy too.
Just good old standard issue rebellion, equipment. And I'm so pissed at this point. I just throw the shield away because I'm pretty convinced that if it didn't save the guy before me and it didn't, prevent me from getting hit in the shoulder, it's no use to anybody else. It's gonna just become much more structurally unsound as it keeps going.
Cool. All right, how about you, Yuri? What's your reaction when you get hit by this blaster rifle?
1, 2, and then 3 are all like top 3, and it's ow. Major ow. It hurts. I gotta keep pushing on. The anguish in my brain is driving me forward. It hurts. And I now know what the lieutenant's face was. He knew it was going to be the hardships. He warned us. He told us the truth, which is the greatest thing in the world, because now the realization is it can only get easier. We just got to keep pressing on, and I'm just not letting the pain trying to drive me back. I mean, I've had the training for different type of combat, and we knew it was going to hurt. I'd probably been shot a couple times, but in one blaster, this hurt a lot.
All right. Now we go back to the players' turns. Players, please tell me you're going to be spending 2 strain to make that final push into the trench. Right?
I think we have to, because...
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move all your tokens into the trench. I am going to assume that you guys fire your rounds and as you approach, or even if you're going for melee combat, you can do so. There we go. But for now, that will be the end of part 1 of our 4-part series. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to let the party think about what they're going to do next, as blood and bodies are littered behind them, and now they finally got to the trenches that are full of these Imperial bastards. Thank you very much for watching, and tune in for part 2.